Welcome to the webinar of S4D, and today we're here with Heidi from Kotipizza. My name is Daan Bakker. I work as VP Growth at S4D for 3 years, so I really know the industry and know the challenges. And today we have we brought someone from Finland here to Amsterdam. And actually it's Heidi. She is running Kotipizza as a CEO in Finland. They have more than 300 stores on 5.6 million inhabitants. Heidi, maybe you can introduce yourself quickly.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Dan. And hello to you all. My name is Heidi. I'm the CEO for Kotipizza, and have done that for 4 years now, so since 2021. And before that, I was working for Kotipizza as Chief Operating Officer for 4 years. So joined the company in 2017. And it has been quite a journey. We have been growing throughout these almost 8 years, up to 300 stores now. It's a fully franchised chain, so working with franchisees quite a lot. And of course with our great HQ personnel, an organization with 75 people.
Nice. And you said you have the headquarters, so that's, I'm assuming, an office. But last week you also were in the stores. Can you maybe tell a bit about that?
Yes, we try to do that, of course, every now and then, to go out there and work in the real-life situation for which we are then developing the different solutions and marketing campaigns and so on. And last week, from Thursday to Saturday, we had this first time ever campaign where we, during the 3 days, we gave a very, very attractive offer to our consumers. They could buy 2 pizzas at the price of 1. So you can imagine it attracted many people, and it was for pickup orders that came in via our online, so e-com. And I actually did 2 shifts. First one on the first campaign day in one of the restaurants, and the other one then on the very rush hour, peak hour time on Saturday in another restaurant. Great experience, and I must say I admire the people who do that every day as their profession. They are really professionals, and they really can also extend up to, I don't know, sky-high levels when needed. It was a great campaign.
That's nice. So what did you do? You were the master of ceremony in the stores, you shared?
Master of ceremony, indeed. Since, I mean, I'm not an expert in baking. I can do that. I can bake a Kotipizza pizza. But during that kind of a campaign, I mean, no chance.
Speed is required, right?
Yeah, speed is required. So no chance in getting, I could only be on their way. So I tried to keep up the good spirit among the customers who came and picked up their pizzas. We of course had some queue, so they needed to wait perhaps a bit longer at some point than they were expecting to do. So yeah.
Yeah, so you helped them with maybe a nice drink or something.
Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely.
So let's dive into like that 8 years in Kotipizza,
Yeah.
like in that transformation journey that we discussed before. So can you maybe explain a bit like, on that digital transformation journey, what has been going on these past years since you worked there?
Yeah, Kotipizza was going digital already before my time.
Yeah.
Our first e-com online shop was opened already back in 2014.
Okay.
And we have been continuing develop it ever since. So still today working with our own e-com. And the digital journey has been very strong. Until pandemic, it was growing step by step with not maybe baby steps, but small steps. But pandemic really made us kind of take a big step further. So we have been saying that during 3 weeks when the pandemic broke, we actually made a 3-year
step. Okay, interesting.
So today already 53% of the total sales comes via e-com.
Okay, and when you became the CEO, what stage was already the digital transformation, and what are the big projects that you maybe led, or maybe also already as a COO?
Yeah, that's. I mean, it was well on its way. We had already hired in 2020 our first tech person in the team, in the HQ team, and since that team has grown to 8 persons. So we have been investing very much since 2020 into our own tech resources in order to work very well also with our outside partners.
Yeah, and then you coming to us maybe for the outside partner. So in the digital transformation in store, we will also do a deep dive a bit later on it. But what are maybe some steps that you took on that, like the operational efficiency of the stores?
Yeah, well, that's still, I would say it's still coming, so to say, since now when the things we will discuss maybe a little bit later, so turning now the kitchens digital, so the digital process now entering the restaurant kitchen, that's now the big step. So before, I would say the digitalization has been more something that has served our customers.
Yeah, customer side.
Customer side. And also then our data. So what has been very important during the past years is to concentrate on building our own data warehouse and making sure that our data is in such condition and format that it's usable
you need to
our benefit.
So you can make data-driven decisions, because to have data is not a thing, but it needs to be easy accessible. I think that's the key word you're saying.
Exactly.
And maybe you said as a partner. So what I'm hearing actually from my colleagues is about that the team at Kotipizza is really, really structured. Is this typically for Koti, or is it maybe something in the Finnish culture?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting question. I think it's a little bit of both. At least in our company, and I see it also in many other Finnish companies, we like to work in a very structured way, and also find structure in the organization. And I think that's also when you enter a partnership. That's also very good then to start building a good relationship and working well together. When you have the structure, then it's perhaps easier also to bring a partner along. And building structure and working in a structured way at least is very much how I also personally like it. So perhaps it's also somehow intentional, but that's the way.
Yeah, I personally also experienced it with the preparation on this side. And maybe we could dive into a bit like on the corporate structure and the decision making of Koti. Can you maybe explain a bit on that, and how important are the relationship with the franchisees?
Yes, that's a good one, since definitely the fact that we are a franchise chain and work with franchisees, close to 300 of them, there is some uniqueness in that business model, and the fact is that we wouldn't have the business without the franchisees. And on the other hand, they wouldn't have their businesses without us.
Exactly.
So it's really in a way two-way street. We, each one of us needs the other one, and we try to. Of course, it's very important to have good, skilled resources on the chain organization. For development and for building the future, and also looking into trends in customer behavior or digitalization and all that. So you really need to have skilled resources in many areas of the business. And then that all you should combine with the great knowledge that the franchisees have with their teams from the restaurants, from the everyday work. And where we pay a lot of attention to is to have that relationship stay good. We try to participate also and have franchisees participate in our development processes. Always at some point, for example, regarding new products, we sometimes want to pilot or test in a real life store situation with the customers before we then launch to the
whole
chain,
audience,
to the whole chain. So that's one example of how it's good to involve also the franchisees, have them participate in the development process. Yeah. And there are a lot of meetings, of course, with the franchisees. Weekly meetings, monthly meetings. We do twice a year this kind of a regional tour where we go from the HQ, a small team like 6 persons, 8 persons, marketing, tech, etc. Go operations. They go to 4 to 5 different cities, and franchisees come for a day and hear the latest and the coming up new thingies, for example, for marketing campaigns and so on. We also have a lot of celebrations.
I heard about when we just started the partnership together. The winter days in Lapland, magical place, I heard. Could you maybe explain a bit about that? There's skiing involved, families.
We invite once a year franchisees with their families to spend 2 days up north, and it's more like a holiday together, but also, of course, we are including something food for thought as well during the days. So it's a little bit of a seminar program, a couple of keynotes, but then a lot of relaxation together. And also one big part of franchising and being a franchise chain is also to thank the franchisees and celebrate together the successes. So that's also part of the Winter Days program, and also then we have another big event for the franchisees and their spouses, always in autumn, which is also kind of a seminar combined with celebration.
Cool. And maybe the last question on that, like you have 300 franchisees, so how do you involve them in the key decision processes, or maybe you have a franchisee board? Can you maybe explain a bit about that?
Yes, indeed. It would be impossible to involve everyone for all projects. So we work very much with the so-called franchisee advisory board. There are 7 franchisees who are the board, plus always one representative from the chain, so 8 persons together. And there is we have monthly meetings with this advisory board. We have a lot of communication on weekly level going on in teams about different areas of the business. Critical questions. They are also the ones to bring us input from the rest of the franchisees, but of course we can always, and franchisees can always, individual franchisees talk to us directly as well. But that's one channel that they can also utilize to bring their feedback or ideas to the franchisee advisory board, and then we take it to the discussions. So that's a very important part of the cooperation and the partnership with the franchisees. And we also, together with that board, we actually make decisions about marketing campaigns.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have an idea from a headquarters, and then you ask them like, hey, what do you guys think? You give them like a choice?
What is your feedback? Yeah, sometimes we give them a choice, or we ask their opinion about this price point or that. We together dig into profitability, how much margin with this at this price point for the franchisees, etc., etc. And that's a common decision making, because we, as usually in franchising, we collect also a marketing fee from them. So basically, our marketing budget is the franchisee's money.
Yeah,
so
true.
It's very logical also
but
to
then you
involve them in the decision making.
Yeah, but then you can use
marketing.
that marketing money also for national budgets, normally when you would be only be working on store level.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that operational efficiency. We already briefed it a bit, and I think that's something that with S4D and Koti we're working together. Could you maybe explain what are the strategies for that operational efficiency in the store, and maybe how comes data into this? How is that going?
Now it's interesting times ahead of us since we are about in the final phase of rolling out now the new POS from S4D and also the digital kitchen system.
Yeah.
So once the rollout is finalized for 220 stores, end of this month actually, then comes the next phase, of course. We need to secure, first of all, that all the restaurant back office functionalities are in place, for example, inventory management, and then also start to look into the efficiency KPIs and so on. So that's the kind of the next phase coming up. But for sure, why we wanted to digitalize the kitchens, the kitchen process. Of course, if you do that kind of an investment, it's a big investment also for the franchisee, each of them. You need to benefit somehow.
Yeah, definitely. But I can imagine you go from receipts to screens. But the goal is, as we know, also labor cost anywhere in Europe or in the UK is a thing. So if you can work more efficient, that can help, of course.
And efficiency comes from many angles. One is exactly what you mentioned. So from paper slips and very manual operation from order to make line and to delivery or pickup. From there to a digital information flow that supports you in the making the pizza and having it be ready for delivery or pickup, or eating at the restaurant in our case as well. And then, of course, I mean, the smoother the system is to work with at the restaurant, the easier it is to train in to new personnel, and the easier it is to use, and also more fun to use, of course, because I mean, if it's too difficult,
And also maybe giving them, because you digitalize that, you can also communicate back to the customer. For example, hey, the ETA, we call it always the estimated time of arrival.
That is something that we see as a great improvement in our case. In our deliveries, since we work with our own e-com, we have been able to give customers real-time information on where their order is going when it's arriving. But when it comes to pick-up orders, we haven't been able to do that until now. But now with the new system from S4D, we will be able to give more precise information on customers about their pickup orders, and that will be a huge improvement. And I also saw the need for it during the big campaign last week. So definitely very much looking into that.
Okay, interesting. So if you summarize it like, hey, what are the next steps you want to have then maybe in that process? Because, for example, now you optimized or digitalized the kitchen process. Then it goes to the people who need to deliver the pizza, the driver management, dispatch, back screen. Because I think you also launched now like the driver app and stuff.
Yes, that we are also doing. So basically the whole process, of course, should and will give us actually more data points in the future, where we can start then even improving, one step of the process.
Yep.
So that will be very, very interesting, all the way from the when the order comes in until then it's delivered. for example. And also something that we are going to include a little bit later this year is the kiosk.
Yeah.
So that I think is also something that will be very interesting from actually 2 points of view. From for the customer, I'm expecting it to make the when they come to the restaurant to make the order and place the order, it will make it much more fun and also easier to do it. Just
especially young people are used to it, right?
Yeah, and they are used to it. That's very much true. And at the same time, it gives the restaurant staff more time to concentrate on the baking and making the pizzas. And I see that as a great chance also to secure less mistakes with the toppings, for example, higher quality. So more concentration on that instead of jumping all the time.
In a way, a kiosk is also part of the digitalization, right?
It will be.
Because you need less people, so less labor, and also people make mistakes, machines don't, right? That's always a plus.
Yes, yes.
And it's immediately then back into the kitchen screen, so you have then all the channels coming together.
Yeah.
And that makes it, of course, in an easy way.
And of course, from business point of view, I'm looking into, and I know the franchisees as well, additional sales.
Yeah.
But of course, that's then linked to our product portfolio and product development. So we are also busy with that at the moment to also improve our menu and the selection you have in order to have people buy also something else.
Yeah, that upsell, right? You call it.
Upsell.
So the average order value. So that could be, for example, an ice cream or some cola, these type of things.
Or even a snack before the pizza is ready.
Something that is before the. I didn't think about
or
that.
After.
That's
or even during. Perhaps a small salad.
Yeah, true. After I thought of, but before I didn't think of. So you have products that, of course, faster. That's a good one. So if we then look like, on that partnership that has been going on together and that implementation, maybe take like one step back and someone would ask you like, hey, I'm looking into maybe finding a new boss for my restaurant chain. Let's call it a restaurant chain, Pizza Daan. I'm just saying something. So Pizza Daan is like going to the market. What kind of advice would you give? Like, hey, before doing that, what do you already need to do yourself before going to the market?
I would start by hiring at least one tech person.
Okay.
Who is skilled in tech to your own team.
In order that can also be like you also mean like a product owner or a project manager?
Yeah.
You call it that, but
yeah. Well, someone who is a specialist in technology.
Yeah. Okay.
And understand the digitalization and digital systems. And that's why. Because I mean that's essential in order to first of all find the best possible partner and having someone speak the same language.
Yeah.
To start with, and the second is to then find the proper partner who is skilled, has the ability to live through the project from the very beginning, planning phase, until the rollout and all the after, like the back office, finalizing that. So and also has the ability to, and also willingness and ambition to understand your business.
Yeah.
Because even though it's another pizza chain, it has always some unique ways of working. And I think that's very important that the partner you choose also has the ambition to really to understand it and then also make the solution work best possible way for you. Yeah,
for you. I think that is the key where it is, right? Because you have a lot of things that are off the shelf, but it's not tailored And I hope now that in the process, now you have a solution, a POS system that tailored to the needs and ambitions of Koti. And I think that is maybe the key of the partnership, and that comes with looking, hey, how are your current processes? How do we adapt our system to you? And then, of course, that onboarding, and maybe you come then also back to these franchisees. That's always interesting. How do you involve the franchisees in this maybe decision making and rolling out? Because I think that's very interesting for everyone to understand.
Basically, I think the most important is to involve them somewhere in between, where perhaps not every details of each process is quite ready, so that you can still include their feedback and improve what you were doing. So that's very, very important. And then, of course, you need to have them ready for the change. So I think one thing that is very important to understand from the very beginning is that it's not just an IT system implementation or project.
No.
It's a change management project, very much so. Because in our case, for example, we have franchisees who have been with Kotipizza already for 20 years or 25 years. They definitely have their own ways of working, also with the POS. So they also need to be really willing and with you in wanting the change. And they also need to stop with their existing habits. And that's, as we know, always not so easy.
It's a process.
It's a process, and you need to support them in the process. And I think that's also something that is very important, that the partner you choose also understands and also takes seriously, as S4D has taken with us. So I think the before training is the kind of the communication phase and getting them really committed franchisees, and then
and excited also a bit, right?
Excited as well, because it's something new and it will enable something that we
and maybe with bringing in the new software, you also bring in maybe some new hardware, because in the kitchen screens there were no kitchen screens. It also is an investment, of course, but it also feels like, hey, and that when you say change management, I think you're then thinking not about the today, right? You're thinking about the future, right?
The future.
Can you explain that maybe?
Yeah, and also, I mean, the future in that sense that what will this enable us to do in the future? And for example, in our case, we are working with our own e-com until now. Perhaps this is exactly what is needed, digitalization of the whole process, in order to perhaps at some point work with integrate some other marketplaces to our system, and in that way have again being able to reach new customer segments, and I mean that's growth.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. And especially like in the restaurant business, ultimate it comes back to the customer experience, right? We discussed it also before. Mm-hmm. And how does the Finnish customer behavior shape Kotipizza's operations? Because you have so many stores on like relatively a small group of people. Maybe you can explain a bit about that.
How does it shape our operation? Well, at least we start with the fact that, and this was discussed earlier with you, you were trying to challenge me on if we prefer pickup or delivery, and I said that I think we need to cater to the customer needs and what the customer wants. So we are following up very closely how customer behavior is today, and what we expect, how we expect it to change towards the future. And we see a huge convenience trend. I mean, it's a global trend, and also the Finnish customer many times now chooses to have the pizza delivered to the doorstep instead of him or her going and pick up. So that I think is very important, that we stay on top of that where is the customer behavior, where is it today and where is it going, And that should be the starting point for how we shape our operations.
Okay, makes sense. And as we're in Amsterdam, here delivery are mostly done by bike.
Yeah, yeah.
And Kotipizza, I think it's mainly cars, right?
It's cars, yes.
And can you maybe explain what is the impact for cars on the delivery model? Because for us, a lot of times it's bikes, like, yeah, and customer satisfaction, could you explain why it is cars and maybe not bikes?
Well,
maybe a typical Dutch question, but...
Well, first of all, because of some of the distances are quite long, we try to keep them at minimum, like 2.5 to 3 kilometer distance, but we also have smaller towns where the inhabitants are living in a larger area, and the delivery distance might be 7 kilometers or something.
Okay.
So I mean, of course you could ride a bike.
But then the pizza gets cold, and it's also cold in Finland.
And it's in the end it's much more efficient. You can manage to do much more deliveries by having a quicker vehicle to deliver with. But cars are of course a different level of investment, leasing cost, gas, etc. So compared to bikes, so of course that's something that we need to take into account in our business model. How do we make delivery business also profitable to our franchisees, and make sure that the total business is that they have the possibility to make profitable business with this.
Okay, okay, makes sense. So maybe, already not wrapping it up, but already thinking about like, hey, what have we been discussing? So what would you say are the key factors in like the modernization process of Kotipizza?
I would start with the finding the right partner. Since I mean the very latest, we have been working with technology partners also earlier before S4D, but this partnership has been one of the deepest in a way and tightest in a very good sense, and it has been key. So I would say that at least think it's thoroughly through what you need, what you are up to, and also choose a partner who is able to scale up with you, and is also eager to learn all the time something new. So that
keep innovating.
Keep innovating. Thank you. And that I think is very important, since I mean, not every solution is ready when you start. Perhaps the greatest innovations come during the project, and the better, more skilled partner you have, and you have your tech person, at least one, or the team, like in our case we have had. So our team has been working very well together with the S4D team, and that has been one of the keys.
Yeah, okay. And if you focus on like operational excellence and customer satisfaction, how do you connect that back to your slogan? I don't speak Finnish, but I heard something about the slogan of Kotipizza.
You mean the one that is back there?
Yeah.
Making the world better?
Yeah, maybe you could say it in Finnish and then translate it.
Yeah, well, parannetaan maailmaa pizza kerrallaan. That's actually, we have already turned that into a new one, which is We Are With The Good Ones.
Okay.
And that relates back to our sustainability agenda.
Okay,
actually,
interesting.
In big picture. Started already like 10-12 years ago with ingredients and us wanting to work with very high quality ingredients, where we also know from where our pineapple is coming or our ham is.
Pineapple pizza, is that a good combination?
Yes, That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, that's what Finns are loving
Okay, we
on
have.
a pizza.
I have some Italian friends, and when I talk about
Yeah,
this, they
I know,
get
they
upset.
might- yeah. But we have pineapple. We
Okay.
combine pineapple with ham, for example, or pineapple with blue cheese, or
Interesting. So maybe coming to that, what is actually maybe your favorite pizza at Coop?
It's Diavola.
Okay.
It's one of our newest launches from end November, and it's really nice and spicy and chili.
Nice.
Yes.
And I also heard that you sometimes have some special pizzas for the time of the year. Maybe you want to share
we
something
have
on that?
Yeah, we have some seasonal pizzas always coming in the selection, and one of our main things in our DNA is our product development, and that originates very much from the Finnish food culture and Finnish ingredients that you can find in the forest, for example. Mushrooms. So mushroom master is one seasonal delicacy for autumn.
Okay.
For many years already in a row. We have also worked with reindeer.
Reindeer?
I'm very sorry, but yes.
Was it tasty?
Yes.
Okay.
Very
Next
tasty.
time I'm in Finland.
Yeah,
But it's
there's
only
a-
in the winter maybe?
That has been a winter seasonal delicacy. Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
We're actually going into we got a lot of questions.
Uh-huh.
So also people just put your questions in the Q&A and we will answer them. But let me start with the first question that we got in here. You mentioned that efficiency has many angles. What are these angles for Kotipizza?
Yeah, efficiency from, let's say, from customer point of view. I'm thinking of the later on the kiosk. So that's of course a very nice and smooth way of ordering your pizza at the restaurant.
And on efficiencies, maybe on the labor cost.
On the labor cost side, and also on the, as I mentioned earlier, the less mistakes with the pizza making when you can concentrate on what you are doing. So you can concentrate on the kitchen operation instead of jumping back and forth to the cash register.
Yeah, what I saw often, you're also using the driver app, and a lot of times I also worked in some stores. People forget, they take the pizza, but they forget the cola or the ice cream.
That as well.
That you have the don't forget notification as a driver. Say like, hey, did you bring the extras?
Exactly.
These type of small things, right?
That's
because
part
if you
of
need
the
to do
efficiency.
twice that right, that's very costly.
Yeah, of course you need to do it twice, or later on you get the customer feedback via your channels, and you need to answer the feedback, and you need to,
maybe give a discount away to
exactly.
keep them happy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. What is important to have a strong partnership with your supplier or partner? Depends how you view it, right? Maybe you have a view, what is a supplier, what is a partner?
I think partner is something that is more a relationship, maybe. Supplier is perhaps someone or you could choose among different suppliers based on price.
Mm-hmm.
But in partner selection, I think you can, even much more go into the quality and the how much time and energy each party is going to invest in the relationship. But that's a very black and white way to describe it.
Okay.
But partnership, I mean, as I said earlier, very important to have good communication, have people speak the same language.
Yeah.
Now, for example, technology. And from our side, of course, we need to be able to bring in the challenges in concrete terms.
To share the challenges and the ambitions, to hit them together.
The partners picking up from there.
Okay. What data points could you give some examples of data points that you collect and find important to make decisions?
Of course, many data points from e-com, like how many visitors in our e-com, how many sessions, how many go to the basket, add products, etc., etc. So there are many, many, many. Also, of course, basic data points like average purchase, etc., etc. But if this question refers more to the kitchen digital
and the
process and the POS, as mentioned earlier, that's now the next phase coming up. But for example, how many minutes from order coming in when the pizza is on the make line, how many minutes in the make line, and from there to baking. Baking time we of course know quite well.
Standard.
It's a little bit more than 3 minutes, and then.
So actually each step in the process, how long does it take?
Yes.
And then maybe use that data to also compare the different stores. That maybe one store
that as well.
is doing it much faster.
Exactly.
You use like leaderboards or something for that?
That I'm looking into, that we will for sure include in our processes. The data points are very important to then speak when you discuss with the franchisee, and this is exactly the support you are you should be giving to your franchisee, that you take a critical view on the results, on the KPIs, how they are doing, and you also challenge that, okay, here when I compare your results to the similar type of store that is in the neighbor town, actually I think you could do much better. How could you solve that? So that I think is one very important part of the chain franchisee relationship.
Okay.
Give the support.
Let's go to the final question. Did S4D develop any specific features for the Kotipizza POS? And yeah.
Any unique features?
Yeah.
Quite a lot of customization, and that's still continuing. Every chain has some uniqueness and
own way of working.
Yes, own way of working, and I think it's very, very important that we, in this kind of a project, we are able to understand it and understand what needs to stay and what is then something that actually can be changed into something new.
Yeah,
so
can be improved.
Can be improved, preferably, but a lot of customization, yes, and we are having a POS from S4D, the kitchen display system, and the driver app, and then those all are now connected, integrated to our own e-com.
Yeah. Sounds good. So exactly on 45 minutes. So actually, Heidi, I want to thank you for sharing your story. It's been inspiring to hear how Kotipizza deals with franchisees, with tech, with sales. Also very cool that you worked in the stores last week. Maybe you have a final word?
Yeah, thank you for coming in. Listen to our discussion, and if anything, you can always connect with me, of course, directly later on as well.
LinkedIn is maybe the easiest, right?
LinkedIn is the easiest, yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.